and and all kinds of, they're coming up with real super. You go to your bee pollen and a lot of these things. These are all hormones. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying boo-hoo out. I'm just saying we're using them for the wrong reason. If you are dependent on a food in order to have energy, then you got a problem, because you're not supposed to get energy from your food. Only 5%. Where do we get our energy? Air. Breathing, water, what else? Rest. And rest. That's where you get your energy to run your body. It comes from water, breathing, and rest, not food, not supplements. So when you say, well, Don, I can't go off of that, I just have vitamin C, without it I'm just dragging. Well, see, with it, you're running down your battery. You're running down your adrenals. See, and then the other approach to dealing with these sugar fluctuations is that we eat sugar all the time. We have to have our Snickers and our Twinkies and our honey buns or whatever, you know. Because our Pops, whatever that's sweet. So we try to add more sugar to our diet to keep the sugar up, if we can't kick the adrenals to keep them out. So that's two different approaches, and some are using them both. They're kicking and feeding, you know. That's getting pretty tough. And I'm not putting anybody down with that, because that's the only way they can survive. I mean, they can't work, they can't do nothing if they don't do something. So we've learned these little tricks of how to keep going until finally there's no more ways that we can kick it, see? And we run down. That's where I get a lot of people coming to me. They've exhausted everything and nothing's working. And of course, maybe I can give them a miracle. Maybe there's a vitamin that's better than anything that's ever been discovered again, that we can deal with this problem. You see, we're still thinking symptom. And what can I do to fix my symptom? Instead of what's causing this thing, what am I doing in my lifestyle that's led to this situation of sugar fluctuation, and what can I do about it? All right? So I'm just trying to lay it right out there like it is. There is no quick fix for a sugar problem, especially low blood sugar. It's easier to help a person get off insulin than to deal with low blood sugar problems with some people, especially if they're acid and their blood sugar runs low. That's the toughest, because anything we do to get rid of that acid, they feel worse. The sugar goes down even more, because they've been using so much acid to kick that sugar up by kicking the adrenals, and now the adrenals won't kick anymore, and we try to get off of that acid, and the adrenals take even more of a vacation, and the sugar goes down even more, and then I get all kinds of complaints. I'm starving, Don, you're trying to kill me. You know, I'm just nervous, and I can't sleep. The sugar's just, you know, I'm craving like crazy and stuff like that, and I can understand that. But see, the cause is because of a lot of years of overstimulating the body to correct a sugar fluctuation, or eating a lot of carbohydrates that you become addicted to in order to compensate for the overreaction of the pancreas and the blood sugar or the weak adrenals. Now, our challenge is to find a way to help the body correct that and still keep working, right? That's not easy. But that's what I try to work with you on, or anybody that has that particular kind of problem. That's the challenge that's before me, is to help educate you enough to be willing to go through some withdrawals, and that's why I give crutches to you, what I call crutches, better crutches. So I give you things that help support the adrenals rather than continuing to kick them. So a lot of times with low blood sugar tendencies, I'll try to encourage you to take some adrenal supplements, things that support your adrenals, not kick them, like vitamin C and B vitamins and a lot of these herbs and stuff, okay? So if you can take some of the load off your adrenals so they can go to the Bahamas and you still work, that's the idea. So to the degree that I can get you to go to the Bahamas, though, while you're on the raw adrenal, not stay up all night. See, the biggest problem I have with people with sugar problems is they get to feeling better and they think they're okay and they go back to their old habits. Okay? And especially have problems with athletes, because athletes are people that like to do exercise to feel good. People that don't feel good unless they exercise have low blood sugar problems or sugar fluctuation problems, because they get out there and huff and puff, it kicks the adrenals, makes the sugar stay up better, so they feel good after they do that. All right? If their adrenals are not shot. If the adrenals are shot, they can't get very far out there exercising. And that's where I get a lot of people coming to me in that type of situation. I can't run anymore, Don. I used to be active and just, and now I can't even run. I hardly even walk. And so we start working on building up the adrenals and resting the body and going through the lifestyle and working on different things. And they start feeling better and they start jogging again. So we have to learn how to give our body what it needs, and we need a good, balanced lifestyle if we're going to really help the body deal with this particular problem, especially if it's low. And it's low because of weak adrenals. Now, another reason why your pancreas could overproducing insulin, which makes the sugars down, is you're too low in magnesium. If you get low in magnesium, your pancreas tends to overproduce insulin, which lowers the blood sugar. So what uses up your magnesium? Too much meat, too much protein uses up your magnesium. And sweating uses up magnesium. All right? So magnesium and putting too much calcium supplements in your diet uses up too much magnesium. So if you get too much calcium, you're in trouble there. Too much sodium lowers magnesium. Sodium is what your body needs, your adrenals need. If you get too low in sodium, natural sodium, not salt shaker sodium, but celery salt sodium. If you get too low in sodium, which will be indicative of low weight or underweight too. You're usually underweight when you're low in sodium, natural sodium. Then your adrenals will be too fatigued because of that. Of course, adrenals get tired. They don't produce the anti-insulin that helps you control the amount of sugar in your blood from keeping it from going low. All right? So your pancreas needs magnesium, and your adrenals need sodium, and those have to be in balance and in ratio with other minerals in order for the organs themselves, the gland of the adrenal gland and the pancreas gland, to do the job that they need to do together to keep the blood sugar where it's supposed to be. That's part of it. Now, another problem you could have or cause of sugar fluctuation is the pancreas is obstructed. It's got too much yeast in it, or it's infected. Okay, then it's in trouble too. Now, one of the main minerals that the pancreas needs to make insulin is chromium. Chromium's a heavy metal, it's acid, And chromium is one of the things that the pancreas needs to have enough of to make insulin. If you run out of chromium, then your pancreas cannot make insulin. All right? And that's why I have a lot of you having good old blackstrap molasses hot toddies. That's your coffee substitute because it's high in chromium. Plus, it's got a lot of other good minerals, including magnesium, that help keep your sugar from going up and down. Keeps blackstrap molasses, even though you're here, and I get a lot of complaints, Don, I can't eat that sweet molasses. I mean, I got diabetes, I'm on insulin, I can't do that. But that's the only way you can get someone off of it if they really want to get off of it, is taking blackstrap molasses because it has the chromium to make insulin in it. But it won't let the sugar go high or low. It keeps it level and steady because of the balance in minerals that's in blackstrap molasses. So you have low blood sugar or high. It helps keep things steady. It's a natural crutch, and it's good food, has good food value at the same time. All right? So we can work with that. But chromium is one of the things that the pancreas needs to do its job. All right? So those are some of the things that have to be fine-tuned and balanced in order for the body to correct. You can't correct this sugar problem. You've got to give the body what it needs and let it correct it. So what you've got to do is quit interfering with that process by overeating carbs, eating too late. You should have fruit in the morning. You should have your meat meal for lunch with veggies. One of the best types of foods are foods that are green. Your pancreas loves green things. It makes it get in rhythm. It helps it get steady and do a better job of regulating when you get a lot of green things. Where's the green things at? It's those things you like. Spinach, green peppers, turnip greens, mustard greens, broccoli. So you need to eat lots of those for low or high blood sugar problems. What makes vegetables and foods green? Chlorophyll. What's in chlorophyll? What's the main mineral in chlorophyll? What's the main mineral in chlorophyll that makes it chlorophyll? The sun converts it, but it's magnesium. Magnesium is, and magnesium helps your lymphatic system. It detoxifies your system. It's your muscle relaxer. It's your nerve relaxer. Magnesium's all of those things. If you want to get hyper, then meat, the dark foods, the white foods, they all kind of give you a kick, see? We need things to relax. Green in the color spectrum is the balancer of nature. It's the balancer of the hot reds and the cool blues and purples. Green is kind of the in-between color in nature that relaxes things. Would you like your grass to be green during the winter or the summer? Both, right? But why would you need? Why do things green up in the summer when it's warmer? It's great. It helps to keep things cooler from the hotness. It's hotter. See, the sun's closer to us during that time too. That's another tangent. I just throwing that in there, but see, hot colors, reds and things like that, hyper you. Where cool colors, brown, blue and purple, ultraviolet, they relax you. Okay? So colors have a lot to do with the adrenals. For example, when people have weak adrenals, you have problems looking at light, or you go outside where it's light and you just have to squint, or you have to wear glasses that are colored. That's adrenal fatigueness when you have to do that. High blood sugar affects the eyes. I'm getting back to symptoms again. By making them bulge. High blood sugar makes them bulge. So you can see long distance because they're reaching way out there, see? But you can't see up close because they're still bulged. They won't zoom in like a lens, see, to see up close. Low blood sugar, you can see, sometimes you can see close, but low blood sugar, if it's fluctuating, sometimes you can't see distance and sometimes you can't see close. It's just fluctuating. So you move a little ways away. Oh, now I got it. See, your eyes are supposed to be able to focus in and out like zoom lens on your camera. But when these sugars are fluctuating, they're zooming at the wrong time. They're not cooperating unless you decide, well, I want to see long distance, so I'll have some salt. That'll make it go out. And then I'll eat some protein to bring them back in because that draws it right up again. And so you're eating salt to see distance. And that'd be a tough job, wouldn't it? That's what's called manipulation. A lot of people, that's what they do, or they end up doing. And see, all of this is just beautifully programmed by our Creator to do it just the way it's supposed to do it. But see, our lifestyle has been interfering with it. Over the years, we've been abusing our body, and instead of cooperating with it, we've been interfering with it, and it's got off on these tangents, and it's not able to do its job like it's supposed to. And we give names to those things. Okay? And yet, we're just not realizing that there's something wrong with what I'm doing that needs to be corrected. So we're going to have to correct it, right? So I'm giving you as much knowledge as I can of what's going on here so you can get a picture, so you can avoid trying to manipulate your body to try to deal with this sugar fluctuation. It's a tough one to deal with. It's not easy. But the biggest thing we got to do is we've got to get our lifestyle in a rhythm. We've got to do certain things at certain times. You know, most of them say to have 6 meals a day. Well, that's at least trying to get you into some type of rhythm, right? Well, there's better ways that we can do that besides manipulating the body by eating every 2 hours. See, that's just not natural to be having to eat all the time just to keep your sugar from going too low. That's not natural, see, or normal. But when we do that, we're interfering, we're manipulating the body, and it's going to run down, and we're going to be in trouble with some symptoms that just won't go away. So what is it that will help get our body back in rhythm? Well, again, I get back to the adrenals need to rest up. If it's a low blood sugar problem, they need some extra rest. So we're going to have to start getting to bed early. Like 9 o'clock wouldn't hurt. But you need to stop eating at 5. You need 4 hours before you go to sleep to help the food get processed from your last meal. So at 6, then you go to bed at 10. Be done at 6. Or else you're going to still have food in your stomach when you go to sleep, and it's going to be working on it all night, and you're not resting. The reason why we need to be in bed between 10 and 2 is because the sun is further away from us. It's far enough away from us to where the light rays are not stimulating our nerves and our cells to make them produce energy, so that they can relax, they can shut down like a battery and recharge. And when you go to bed, if you have a hectic lifestyle and you got all these things that didn't get done, don't go to bed with those things done. Those things not done. Do something with them. Don't work all night. That's not doing something with them. Don't worry about them all night. Don't leave them in your subconscious. Write them down and get them scheduled tomorrow. Don't go to bed with unfinished things. It'll bug you all night subconsciously, and you're not going to be recharging your adrenals. You're going to be burning a lot of calories. All right, and a lot of people have sleeping disorders because their sugar goes down at night, and the body wakes them up to keep them thinking at least actively enough to keep the circulation going, to pull extra sugar out of the muscles to keep the blood sugar from going too low. So a lot of people with sleeping disorders. And sometimes they go to sleep just drugged, and then about an hour they're awake and they can't go to sleep again. That's a low blood sugar. The adrenals are fatigued after you burn off the alcohol. And that's why a lot of people have to have nice hot milk or eat something so they can drug themselves to go to sleep. Now, I can't sleep if I don't eat something before I go to bed. So they're drugging their body so it can produce some alcohol, then it gets drunk, goes to sleep. But see, you're not recharging your battery that way. You're not recharging your adrenals. Your adrenals are not going to get charged back up where they're going to help you with that sugar, low sugar fluctuation if you don't stop that. All right?
Blackstrap.
So blackstrap is what we want to use, see? Just take a little blackstrap in hot water and just sip that nice. And it can bring that sugar up nice. It goes in real slow, so it'll last all night. If you don't go, well, just some of us are just conquerors. We just got to do it, get over with, and get done. We don't take time to enjoy what we're doing. See, we need to learn how to pace ourselves. That's the other thing. We run the battery down during the day. We've got to learn how to pace ourselves. And that's why breathing is so important. You've got to learn how to do deep breathing through the day, especially if your lifestyle's hectic and you're busy and you're under a lot of pressure. You tighten up and then you don't breathe good. Well, when that happens, you're kicking your adrenals in order to keep going. In other words, if stress hits you and you don't sit down and relax, or you don't do some deep breathing to keep you from getting tight, then you're going to kick in your battery, and your adrenals are going to have to come to the rescue to keep you going, to deal with the stress and the intensity without the breathing. And so you're going to run your battery down more than you should. Sometime during the day, your sugar is going to go low because of that, and then you're going to want something to keep you going, right? All right? Isn't it something that all these companies have to give you a break between lunch and supper just to keep you going? I mean, you think they want to give away 10 minutes of production time? If they didn't think that the only other alternative is you'd be unproductive the rest of the day. I mean, you couldn't think your sugar went down. What was that I was supposed to do? Why did I come in this room? I knew it was copiers here. Oh, you have to go. Well, say they know that. So they say, well, go to the break, and why do they have these candy machines and pop machines sitting in there? They know you got to have a fix. Just to get some production, to get some work out of you for the day. We'd have to shut down most all of our companies if we didn't have these quick fixes. And then you add all of the sick leave that people are on. When that won't work long enough, you get all these colds and flus because we're doing all these stimulating things just to keep functioning, just to keep going. And see, what we've got to learn to do is learn how to pace. We need breathing. You're not going to be hungry for food until you fasted over 40 days. Then you're hungered. So if you think you need something, it's breathing, rest, or water. That's what's missing. And see, you need to get your water spread out through the day, but especially in the morning is when you need that water, because that keeps the high sugar, salt. In other words, your kidneys need to have enough water to keep taking out of the blood the sugars that are too high or too low, especially the ones that are too high. So your kidneys, your adrenals are sitting right on your kidneys. You got adrenal gland that's on each of your kidneys, your two kidneys. And see, it's regulating your kidneys to keep your blood balanced. See, and so if your pancreas, your adrenals aren't doing their job, then the pancreas, the the sugar has to be dumped out through the kidneys. So the excess sugar. When I'm reading extra sugar coming out through your urine sample, that means that you didn't have enough, your pancreas couldn't keep up. And so what's the alternative? You can't leave it in the blood because you could go into a coma. And you're not drinking enough water to help the kidneys get it out quick enough, so what's it going to do? What's your body going to do to compensate? You're going to get dizzy. You're going to lose your balance. You know? It's going to try to turn some of that sugar to alcohol. You'll get drunk. See, it's got to do something. The other alternative when that sugar is too high and it can't get out is the body turns it to fat. So it stores it out here if it can't get it out and it's producing too much. So everything that the body does, it's trying to help you out. All right, it's trying to find a way to deal with these fluctuations. So we want to get into a rhythm during the day. When we get up in the morning, what's the first thing we want to do? What should you have sitting on your stand as soon as your feet hit the floor? What should you do just before that? Breathe. Do 5 minutes of deep breathing while you're laying there. You could drink the water if you wanted to, if you're real thirsty. And then just lay out there, raise your hands up over your head and take a nice deep breath and hold it for a little bit to get the old carbon dioxide, let that push out, and then blow it out, and relax, and just get that air in there. Get that oxygen in there. See? Get that energy coming from breathing. Because all night you've been breathing very low unless you've been snoring. That's because you ate too late. Okay? Ate too much sugar and pizza and stuff. As you wake up, do that deep breathing, get a good glass of water, and that should start your rhythm. If you have low blood sugar tendencies in the morning, then your first liquid should be that blackstrap molasses and some hot water. Drink that first thing, because what you do as far as carbohydrates, the first carbohydrates that you use in the morning is going to determine how many fluctuations you're going to have the rest of the day. If you get something that is wrong, and it'll keep you upset all day. You won't be able to get in the rhythm no matter what you do. So if you start out with a good rhythm in the morning, it'll keep that really going through the day, nice and steady. So what you do first thing is very, very important. So you don't just swallow some fruit, and no, 3 bananas, down, and then it's sitting there all morning, fermenting and fluctuating. See, so you want to chew things good. You want to give the body attention as far as it's chewing, as far as you're drinking, and masticating good, and things like that. It's so important in the morning to get that water every hour if you can, besides the hour that you're having your fruit breakfast, to establish a rhythm for your kidneys to flush and clean with. It's very, very important. Because you can't start drinking a lot of water after you eat your food. That main meal at lunchtime, it's going to take 3 or 4 hours to digest it. You can't drink a lot of water in the afternoon because it'll